Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to share with you what are the 10 top reasons why you should get Otto Place. Probably the last EC in the West for the next 2 to 3 years. Okay, so let's just dive right in. And if you haven't watched my previous video about Otto Place, do take a look at it. You should have a better understanding of the entire place of Otto Place. And this video is really just the reasons why you should get Otto Place. Okay, and if you like videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. This way, YouTube will notify you whenever I post a new video. Okay, so let's go. Okay, reason number 1, best entry price. Okay, so this one I think no doubt, right? Everybody knows that compared to a condo, EC would be in a better position because it's discounted. You always keep hearing this saying because it came from one of our ministers saying that you are actually buying a Lexus at a Toyota Corolla price, right? You always hear this. These days, some people even mention that, you are probably buying something at an even higher end at a Toyota price, right? So you will always hear this because whenever an EC is ready to be sold in the market, it is positioned almost as a condo. So as condo grow, and because when you get in at a lower value quantum, what you're experiencing and what you will experience is a lot more growth, basically, right? So for a 3-bedroom, you are probably going to expect it to be at around 1.5 to 1.7. You can look at the previous video as well, because over there I mentioned how this estimation came about. And for a 4-bedroom, you probably expect about 1.7 to 2.1. Okay, so look at this number, right? In the current market, a 3-bedroom, you're not going to get at this price. Okay, at 4-bedroom, you are also not going to get at this price, right? Simply said. Right, so if we compare to somewhere something nearer, which is Jayden. So basically, if you were to choose one or the other, the difference is what you are seeing on the screen. Okay, it's almost double. Okay, and if we compare to some other nearby, whether it's condo or whether it's EC, right? So over here, if you look at previous condos that were launched at the transacted price, you can actually see that the average price is going at such. Okay, and compared to previous EC around this area, Open Grand, Altura, Lumina Grand, Novo Place, you basically can take Novo Place as the closest one because it's just beside Otto, and the price, we can see that it's going for this number. Okay, so if you were to take what we previously calculated, somewhere around 17xx, you are still going to get so much lower than previously launched EC, which has already go up in prices. Okay. Reason number 2, very safe exit plan. Okay, so whenever you get into an investment, something of a huge quantum, you want to make sure that you're not in the losing end, right? So for whether it's Novo Place or whether it's Otto, right, this is something that you're probably not going to find or see anywhere else because this place is still building, it's still ongoing, right? What you see here are the existing HDBs. What you don't see is all these others that hasn't been built yet, or rather it's ongoing. Okay, so whether you choose to sell in 5 years time, 10 years time, or even 15 years time, these people who are looking to upgrade will then have one choice over here, right? Or you could take Novo Place, but you see the supply and demand versus just these 2 parcels of land versus the rest of it. Maybe I'll show you. Okay, so what you are seeing, basically, let's just take into consideration the roads that are built around this area. There are HDBs that are already completed, all going to be completed, right? What you don't see is all these others, which is going to be developed just like Pongo, right? Which is why we always say this is like the second Pongo, because what this is going to go through will be similar to Pongo, right? So with supply and demand being so obvious, okay, and what you also want to know is that there is actually another site being bid for 821, right? And that's by Hong Yong-led consortium. So you already know that this current one going at this price and the future one going at this price, you can already make your decision right now. Okay. And on top of it, I don't know whether you heard this news, just very recently, CBL also bidded for somewhere nearby. This is going to be a condo, okay, which is near to Lakeside MRT, and it's bidded at 1,100 plus, right? So this compared to what you're seeing or what you're getting for EC, it's also a no-brainer, okay? Reason number 3, instant solution to your upgrading plans, right? So most people who wants to upgrade or have plans to upgrade from a HDB, basically this EC is made for people who are trying to upgrade from a HDB, right? If you are aware, buying a second property, you will usually have to go through ABSD. But specifically for EC itself, you won't have to, right? So for example, if you're a HDB trying to go into a condo, you will have to sell your HDB first before you buy a condo to avoid ABSD. But for EC, you can buy first and then continue to stay in your HDB while your EC is building, right? And then when it's ready, once you move in, within 6 months, you can then sell your HDB away. So there's no need for you to sell first, rent a place, wait for your EC, and then after that move in, right? So this is a solution already existing for people who want to upgrade, right? And so in terms of payment, you are going to have this thing called deferred payment scheme, right? So no payments made during construction. You are only going to pay 20%, which is your 5% down payment in cash. The next 15% cash plus CPF, right, to make up the first 20%. And then the next payment will be during, or rather at TOP, which is like 2 to 3 years later. Okay, so this is another good reason why people go for EC, because you know, they're not paying so much in a month, right, for the monthly mortgages. Okay, reason number 4, ECs are highly profitable. So we speak with numbers, we use numbers to, you know, show you why, and this is just in the West. We're not going everywhere else in the island. You look at this in Choa Chu Kang, right? So acre, the profit is going to nearly $1 million, right? And then we have Inns Residence, similarly near to $1 million. This is also in Choa Chu Kang. And then another one, Wonderville, also in Choa Chu Kang, near to $1 million. Reason number 5, you know, this is basically like condo style at a discounted price, right? These projects are basically made having the end goal that it is going to turn into a condo, right? In I would say 10 years time. 5 years time, you can sell to a local and PR. 10 years time, anybody can buy, right? So these are the, you know, artwork. You will see this whenever you get the e-brochure. So if you need it, do reach out, do let me know. Right, and Otto Place is built for homestay, right? Functional layout, meaning when you look at the floor plan, it's functional, it's efficient. There's no wastage of space over here, right? So for example, this 3-bedroom, right? You will see that it's right from the door, right? And then you have your living room, you have your kitchen, and then after that, to your private areas, your bedroom, right? And similarly for 4-bedroom, it's almost like an extended of the 3-bedroom, right? Coming in, you have your kitchen, you have your living room, and then to your bedrooms. Okay, so no weird layouts, no weird shapes, no triangle, no weird angle, no circle, no circular kind of design, right? And reason number 7, you get to enjoy better condo lifestyle than some other new launch, right? So when you look at this, again, in my previous video, I shared more. So you basically have your common area, right, in the center area over here, and an additional one over here. Okay, not all condos are able to do such things, but I realized recent ECs usually have this. They have one main area, and then they have a second one just for, you know, more choices for you lah, basically. Okay, reason number 8, it is close to good school, and it is 4 minutes walk from 2 MRT station. Okay, so basically that good school that we are talking about is basically Princess Elizabeth over here, which is within 1 kilometer. And then you have 2 MRT station, right, which is under construction, right? One is your Tengah Park MRT, right? The other one is your Bukit Batok West MRT, okay? And then the other one that you will find it very convenient for you will be this Plantation Plaza. So if you realize most of the closest amenities in certain areas, you will not get MRT station nearby where you can just take the train, go there, buy your stuff, and then come back home. This one, up to you. You can choose to take MRT, you can choose to walk, you can choose to take Grab, you can drive, you can cycle, up to you. But it's a choice, right? Reason number 9, we know that ECs are very rare, okay? And this is probably the last one in the West in the next 2 to 3 years, okay? So current supply, right, with the bounce out and all this, I would say that definitely there's only less than 50. Okay, less than 50 available units, I would say around in Singapore, right? But this is just giving you the really in the west, like the close by ones. Okay, so if we look at the rest of the upcoming ones, there is nothing near to this area, right? The next one that is coming up probably end of this year or next year already. We have Jalan Loyang Besar. This is in Pasir Ris, right? This is next to Wawa West, if you know what where that is. Okay, and then the next one will be Tampines Street 95. This is next to Safra. Okay, basically the next two will be in the east. This is the last one in the west. Okay, and reason number 10, right? Would we see the 100 pumps effect, right? Will history repeat itself at Otto Place? Reason why we are saying this is because EC managed to get this kind of pricing, right? Buying it at 1.3 million, thereabout, and resold at 3 million. That is a profit of 1.7 million. Okay, even if it's not this number, if it's close enough from the previous example that we showed earlier, those in Choa Chu Kang, near to 1 mil, or somewhere between this is basically a no-brainer. Okay, so we just want to bring you to different area to understand, you know, there are a good chance, because EC being rare, supply and demand issue, whoever likes that location will go for the location. Okay, so meaning to say, because when you get into ECs, they are basically really undervalued, right? The moment you get in, you are already priced to win. Okay, so these are just some examples to show you, right? Condos on the left side, right? Plus this one over here versus 100 pumps, right? So when you look at this, basically around this location, if we look at all of them as condo, even if you are cheaper than all of them, but because you went in at such price, you win. Okay, right? And if we were to look at the track record for profitable, right, projects, similarly, whether it's EC, whether it's condos, right, we look at whether it's near to MRT, which this one has got upcoming one, whether there is good school, popular school, whether there is upcoming condos, right, and whether it's a premier developer, whether it's a good developer, this puts the tick to all of this, right? So this project, basically you can go through everything you want, right? Especially the 8 characteristics that we usually talk about, right? This would put a lot of ticks to them, right? So with that, thank you for your time, right? And if you like videos like that, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, right? YouTube will show you whenever I upload a new video, right? So this is what I have for the top 10 reasons why Otto Place is something that you should seriously consider, especially if you're eligible, right? And that's all I have for you. If you need floor plans, if you need anything, do reach out to me. I can send it over to you, right? And that's all. Take care. I will see you in the next video, right? Bye-bye.